I'd like to call this meeting in order and begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First thing we do, before we do anything, we have to have our organizational meeting for the commissioners before we go any farther. So the first position that's available is president of the commissioners.
I nominate Randy Cole.
Second that.
Any other nominations? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, the next item up is going to be vice president.
I nominate Miss Pam.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And our third one is, do we have a third? Chris?
Nope.
Okay.
It's supposed to.
You're not getting out of not working though.
I'm on the downhill slide.
Okay, so the first thing up, we have to accept the agenda as presented. Is there any additions, modifications that you want to make to it?
Pam, you had emailed me wanting to add discussion.
I think it's been covered by county counsel's
Okay.
attorney.
All right, gotcha.
The only other thing is we need to establish
Robert's Rule of
finance,
Orders.
our finance board,
Okay.
because it'll come up at our first meeting because we'll have to have that. I think we do that on appointments too, so.
Yes,
um,
I think it's in the big list here. I'll get that out here.
I've got all this other stuff, but I don't.
Yeah, I got this one for you, Randy.
That's what printer at home is going for.
Let's put that in as the next, that is all of us serve on that. We have one person designated as the president of that. And Amanda is I believe, the secretary or treasurer of it. I'm not sure which one she is, but she's a part of it. It's the four of us. So that needs to be added. I'm gonna put it in right under A, under 4. So. Anything else? I'd entertain a motion to approve the agenda as modified.
I'm making a motion.
Second that.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so the next one up is public comment. Nobody's here to comment. Guess that's good. So the next thing we're going to do is we'll have our finance committee, which is made up of commissioners plus the trustee, but we need to designate a president of that group.
I nominate Randy Cole.
I second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Next thing up we have is our meeting schedules. In the past, we always met on Mondays and Tuesdays, but we changed to early Mondays at 9:00 and later on Tuesdays simply because Tell City also has Monday evening meetings. And if someone wanted to attend a commissioners meeting, there was a conflict. So that's why we switched to the Monday morning 9:00 meeting. And then the evening meeting was on Tuesday, which didn't have a conflict either. So
That works for me. I mean,
What time was it, Tuesday evenings?
6.
6, okay.
So if that's okay, I'd entertain a motion to maintain that schedule.
first Monday and third Tuesday, right?
Yep, first Monday, third Tuesday, Mondays at 9,
I
Tuesdays at
appreciate that.
6.
I already worked ahead and worked up the claim schedules and everything based on that, so I do appreciate that.
So if we want to aggravate it, we'll change it.
We can keep it the same.
It's still the beginning of the year. We can't start that yet. So I'd entertain a motion.
Positive vibes in 2025.
I second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Next thing up, we have the appointments the commissioners make as far as our Veteran Service Officer, Kevin Herb. Kevin's here. Have you got any questions for him?
No, I think he requested to attend a training. I don't know if we were able to look at that, Chris.
ADA.
The 88, yes. I didn't look into it. No, I didn't know anything about it.
Usually, well, last year it was free by NDOT. It's just the travel and all that stuff. So they can come to that when that time comes and see if.
When is that usually, the
It was in
training?
the summer, I think it was June or July last year.
You went last year, didn't you? Oh, you did. We talked about it. You did. That's what it is. You talked about it.
I just feel, it's been the third year doing the ADA stuff, and I really haven't had any kind of in-person training on it, so.
Well, things change every year,
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt
every year.
to refresh the process. I'm sure there's no money allocated for it, so
I'm not in travel.
when it happens, just kind of give us a heads up, Kevin.
Which you typically have your travel, which we just have to add a line item to 88 to that.
I would entertain a motion to reappoint Kevin as a Veteran Service Officer.
I'll second.
I need the motion first.
Well, I make a motion.
All right, now I need a second.
I second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Next item up is the reappointment of Steve Howe to the Highway Department. Any questions for Steve? Comments?
None.
You're good.
That's easy. I do have a question for you. How our striping is coming along down there at the foundry? Did
I
you?
have called them back and they still haven't got me a price. He said, I'll get you a price for the first year.
Yeah. All
I
right.
got two different ones besides the one that gave us the price. Supposed to be Betty's one, I don't know.
They originally, if you remember, Becky, they came in and said they'd do it for $1,000.
Yeah,
And then
we
that
jumped on it.
Yep, and the redevelopment was gonna use funds they have available from Web Wheel to pay for that. And Pam, just to get you up to speed, the county actually controls the road in and out of the foundry. And what has happened over the time, the striping on there and the stop where you should stop at out by the highway and that have just really got where it's hard to see them.
Very dangerous.
Especially whenever it rains and that, and there's trucks passing each other there, and they ask us to actually restripe that area for them. And there's money available in Web Wheel. We'll go up to where the corner is and it transitions into their property is what we'll do as the county. So we had asked the redevelopment about it. They approved the $1,000 that Steve said he'd get it striped for, and then the guy came back and told him that was too cheap. So now he's trying to get additional quotes on it. So we see where we're at.
No, make him do it.
I don't think he's got anything in writing, do you?
No, we don't. He told me over the phone.
Yep.
how much they do for
It was one of those verbal things, and
Okay.
now, yeah, I think he looked at it once Steve told him to go ahead and do it. And he thought,
Yeah, I think he actually looked at it then more there and he realized, he was looking at Google Maps and
Mm-hmm.
he couldn't see all them other stripes. I could see them on my map.
he wasn't looking for
He didn't
it.
look.
Yeah, yeah. So that's what that's about.
Steve, have you ever looked into a striper, a machine?
It's, you can get these walk behind, one to stripe the road with is pretty expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't do enough, really only thing we stripe is our federal roads.
Mm-hmm.
The ones under the federal, ones, we don't even stripe all of them. If they had stripes on them, we have to put them back. If they didn't have stripes, we don't. But it's pretty expensive to have it done. It's very expensive to buy equipment to do it.
I was just wondering, because a lot of the county roads, people have asked me, they said, why don't they stripe, at least put lines on the side or down the middle? Because when it's raining or real foggy or something, you can't see the road. And
It'd be nice if we could have
Yeah.
the center line on, but
a lot of the roads, especially the ones you repaved, have got pretty good drop-offs on the sides. And, that's concerning to me.
I think Warwick County, they designed their own, they kind of rigged up a little machine they added onto a truck. I don't know if that's possible and it might have weld something up.
it might be possible to do something like that. I've looked at different ones and Most of them are, they're a walk behind, you can get some that are attached to a truck, but it's all pretty expensive.
Yeah, I know one of the counties had because he does the same thing with the filling machine, crack filler and that.
Mhm.
And there's a company that actually will, for every, I don't know, skid of crack filler or whatever, they'll let you use the machine for a period of time. And I think it's Gibson County is doing that. So they don't have to invest in an extremely expensive machine. And then they get their cracks filled. And so they may buy a couple skids of it and use it, set aside a certain period of time, and then they go out and fill their cracks. So there may be an option like that, I don't know.
We looked into that out there. If you buy 2 pallets, they'll furnish, let you use the machine for nothing.
Mhm.
But it's not all, it's a plastic filler, and you have to spray water on it immediately to
Get it set up.
get it set up so it don't stick. And I did some checking on it. And the humidity's gotta be a certain percent, and the temperature's gotta be a certain place, and to do it right, there's about 3 days a year. It works out if you get everything right. If you don't get it right, the state has told me that, state highway here, if you don't put it down when, sometimes your snowplow just pulls it right, it's a plastic material. And it
Yeah.
pulls it right.
Pulled right out. So what's the state use?
They use that a few days a year. They use that part of the time, then they've got a machine that they put down the oil like we use.
And then you put your sand on top of the oil and try to keep it from tracking.
Yeah.
For that.
Could community crossings, could that be used for a striper machine?
Not for the machine, you could apply for it to have someone to do it for you,
Okay.
as a treatment.
Mm-hmm.
But they won't pay for a machine out, they won't pay for any equipment, community crossings. They want that money to either go into a bridge or go on the road some type of.
Road itself.
Right.
Okay.
I think my only other question would be, as the news says, are we prepared for a storm?
Are we prepared for the storm?
Yeah,
We're in the process right now.
okay,
I may call some people out tomorrow. We're going to put down brine today, which we're going to, but we got 2 trucks to do brine. They checked them all out a couple of weeks ago and everything worked fine. Of course, this morning, one of them, the motor clogged up on the sprayer on one, so we're replacing the bearing and trying to get everything going on it. If we don't get it going in time today to get everything, I may have some of the work tomorrow. Just a few people go ahead and get the brine down. I can't find anywhere where they know what's really gonna happen. If we're gonna have ice, we need to have that brine on the road,
Yeah.
paved roads.
I think it keeps changing.
it does.
So
It does.
you probably won't know, but 48 hours before the event.
Yeah, you just have to be
We'll
prepared
know they
in
have.
case.
You'll be perfect the day after, won't you?
Yeah.
That's how it always works. Yeah. That said, I'd entertain a motion to reappoint Steve as the Highway Department.
I make that motion.
I second that.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
I,
Thank you.
Next item we have is it's the county attorney contract. It's basically the same as last year with a slight increase. I think he says it's because of inflation. 31,000 something, let's see, 31,235.74.
31 what?
$31,235.74.
I make a motion.
I second that.
We have a motion and a second to accept the contract as presented. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. 3-0. Now we're at our board appointments, and let's try to sort through these things.
Do you want to do the ADA first? 'Cause-
Yeah. Where's my list? This one?
Yeah,
Go
yeah,
off that.
sorry, we didn't have ADA on there yet.
First one up is our ADA coordinator, and Kevin has taken on that job. That's what we were just talking about. And he has reapplied to do it another year, so that's a good thing. So I'd entertain a motion to reappoint Kevin to that position.
I'll make that motion.
I second that.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
The ADA Steering Committee, no one put an request in to serve. Next one we have is the Airport Board. That one's a little confusing. It appears, we have listed here James Rogan, who expires in '24. Was he reappointed? Off of this list, I've got current.
All I have is the new list.
I didn't bring the old list with me.
I think they were reappointed those dates, yeah.
So those are not
Yeah.
correct. Okay. At some point, we've got to sort through that,
Yeah.
get those things worked out. Okay,
We
so,
started a new sheet, so that's why I don't think I have those.
okay, we had one person apply for the Airport Authority, and what this is, Gary Gebhardt was a member, and he passed away, and so it would be to fill his seat for his term, and if this is correct, it would expire in 2027. So
I'll make a motion.
we have a motion to approve Tim Marie. Do we have a
I
second?
second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, okay. Next item up, we have the Port Authority, which is made up of, we have two openings actually on there. Jason Braun's term has expired, and Jeff Tunks has resigned. And so one would be for a full 4-year term. The other one would be for the remaining 2 years that Jeff Tunks was on that board. We have, let me see if I got him here. Let's see.
Jason Brown.
Jason Brown, Neil Warner, and John Schutzius have applied to fill that,
Mm-hmm.
fill those two vacancies. So we'd need to have one that would be a 4-year term. The other one would be completing the term.
Who's the other
Jeff
one that we
Tunks.
didn't have on our list because they didn't turn it into us?
Jeff
his name is
Schutzius.
This guy, John Schutzius.
John Schutzius.
Thank you.
So let's do an appointment for the 4-year one. What's your preference?
Jason Brown. I nominate Jason Brown.
I second that.
I've got a motion and a second to reappoint Jason Brown to a 4-year term on the Port Authority. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And then to fill the remaining term of Jeff Tunks, and that would be for 2 years.
I nominate John Schutzius.
I second that.
We have a nomination and a second. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
So it's John Schutzius.
Who is John replacing? John Schultz?
Jeff
Jeff Tunks.
Tunks,
Jeff Tunks.
Yeah, he was.
Okay.
he was on there and he resigned here a month or two back. You know what's so, they're not in order either.
Sticky tabs put on there, all the letters.
Oh, well. Next item up, we have the Health Board. That is another one. We have Eric Dickerson his term is actually up, so that's a 4-year term. And then we have a resignation of Dr. Bailey and also Adam Brockman. And so we have to designate our appointees for that one also as to what position they're actually filling. And we have Becky Elder, Charles Ballmaster, Emily James, Chris Coyle, Brandy Glenn, and Carla Bollinger
Okay, so I didn't have all those.
sent in their
Yeah.
names.
What was that last one?
Carla Bollinger. Did you get her letter?
So let's do the first 4-year appointment first. Do we have a nomination for that?
I'd like to nominate Carla Bollinger.
Okay,
I second that.
She's got a very,
a motion, a second. I think she's a,
she's a 35-year, she has 35 years in nursing experience.
okay.
I think she'd do well.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
What's the party affiliation on that one?
I think she's independent, does any?
Independent.
And she's the 4-year one. Then we have two, I believe it's 2 years remaining on the other two. One of them is
Health
Dr.
Board-
Bailey.
I just got a text message. Health Board states it has to have 2 licensed physicians.
2.
Mhm.
I think if it's available, I'm not sure that's a requirement because we can't get,
Here's a picture.
um,
There it is. Right. Well, that's it. Let's see.
So right now, is there any,
1620-2-5, 2 members of the general public plus 1 member of either health or education-related fields, plus 2 of whom are licensed physicians.
is there any position?
right now,
Well, we did with
um,
Bailey and Brockman, but now we don't.
well, you had Bailey, Brockman, Logan. They had 3.
So
Besides
how
Dr.
do we
Morgan.
have now?
We don't have any
We
now.
don't have any now, right?
Well, I think Dr. Rogan's still on there, isn't he? He didn't come off.
I don't have, I need to get that list. I know it, right? Come on, Logan.
Well, it's gotta be based upon this thing.
So
What I've
Rogan's
got.
on there, yeah.
Let's see.
Is it 225 or 2?
Oh, shoot, I do
We
have
have
that, it's right
to
here.
elect 2 positions.
Well, let's missed it.
Well, there's
Health Board.
Carla Bollinger, she would be one in
She's
the
not-
health field.
Yeah.
Correct? Okay.
James Rogan doesn't expire till 12/31/26.
Okay.
Then you've got Isla, does she count as a nurse practitioner? Fine.
She's not a physician,
Not
but
a
I don't
physician.
know that if you can't get one, how that actually works.
Yeah, it goes until 26.
It's just like we have, Corey Phillies on there. I mean, we have quite a bit health-related on there.
Yeah,
I'm just looking at the group.
well, there's one with mental health, there's one with
Yeah.
health, there's.
The only one on there that I look at the existing group was Eric Dickerson was the only one that wasn't in the health-related fields.
Well, you have to have 2 from the public, right? Yes.
Maybe just appoint 2 and then wait on the 3rd until you find out about the physician guidelines. We can look into that.
Yeah, we could do that because I don't know where we're gonna find another physician that's willing
Yeah.
to serve, but we can go look. So let's let's put one more on to serve out. Let's just say we're gonna serve out
Eric.
Adam Brockman,
Adam?
and then Dr. Bailey, needs to have a physician if we can find a physician to fill that spot.
So we can put in,
We can put in one more person, and then we'll see if we can find a physician that's willing to serve.
We gotta watch for party affiliations on all those too.
Brandy, I don't think she's specified.
She's independent.
Independent.
Who?
Brandy Glenn. I got too many papers.
I'd entertain a motion.
For Brandy Glenn,
All right, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I second that.
All those in favor?
I,
Aye. Okay, so we have Brandy Glenn on there.
Who was the first and who was the second? I was confused on that.
One of you two down
I
there.
think we spoke at the same time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I was confused a little bit, so.
Now you're gonna have minutes, so you're gonna have a hard time.
Yeah.
Who was that?
You can put Rebecca down.
His first, you
Yes.
second? Okay, gotcha.
Okay, then the third spot we'll leave open to see if there's a position available.
No, that is to fill, the Brandy Glenn, that would fill a 2-year term of,
Adam Brockman.
okay.
And then we still have a 2-year term for Dr. Bailey to fill that slot.
And then this new one, it's gonna be a 4-year term, right?
Hers will be a 4-year
Carla,
term.
okay, gotcha.
So we have one.
So we got one more to fill? Or is that it?
We've got one more, but we need to find us a position if we can.
And find out if we can, the guidelines.
Make an
with that.
exception.
Yeah.
Okay,
So it
Okay.
might be one of those, depending on
yeah.
if it has.
Availability, I know, because a lot of times they put that in there. I see the next thing here that we have an applicant for is the Plan Commission, the Perry County Zoning and Planning Board. The only one that I've got is Mandy Jackson. Let me go back up here to Chris's in case. I'll follow this because that's what I've been coming down. On the Alcoholic Board, it's a review board. There was one applicant, Mark Howland. We need one spot there.
We need one more?
Nope,
This one's, yeah.
we have one spot, one applicant.
Okay. Well, I nominate Mark Howell.
I
Is that
second
a,
that.
is that a 1-year term?
Yes.
That's
Yes.
what I thought it was.
Do we have a second on that?
Yes, I second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
And that was for Mark, right? Sorry.
Yes.
Can we go back to the health board for 1 minute?
Sure.
Okay, so what about Eric Dickerson resigning?
His term expired.
So is that who Carla?
Yes,
Okay,
replaced.
gotcha. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
just
Carla
answering
for 4 and Brandy
questions.
for 2.
Gotcha.
Next thing up is we have a Region 15. And let's see. We had Balaji Kajip, Corey Philly, and Kelly Harding applied, and I think we need 3 if I'm remembering.
Let me go here a moment.
Or either the
3.
council puts one on.
There's an internal.
The commissioners, is one of these internal of the
One's
3?
internal.
So it has to be one of us
Yeah.
serves in addition to 2 others.
Yes,
And then I think the council
has an internal.
has an internal. So,
It all equal out to 3, correct? 4.
yeah, I think currently the only one that Balaji's serving, Kelly's serving, J.R. Flynn used to be there, but he's working in Louisville, and it's hard for him to make the meetings. And I think Corey then would be a new one. And then we have to have an internal commissioner appointment in addition to that.
I'd nominate Balaji.
Okay, well, I'll nominate Balaji Kashyap. Do we have a second?
I second that.
Motion and a second on Balaji. All those in favor?
And this is 1-year terms, correct?
Your terms.
Yes.
One, one, yeah. And I'm gonna jump ship here and I'm gonna nominate Pam to represent our commissioners because she lives in the northern part of the county and I think she'd do a great job. Shorter drive.
Second it.
We have a motion and a second for Pam to represent the commissioners on the Region 15 board. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. We need one more, and I think we've only got two, and I think the council doesn't have one either, so it doesn't really matter whether we put Kelly or Corey on. As
And then
the,
Well, isn't the council's internal?
They have one internal,
Yeah.
so
Basically, whoever we don't pick, they'll have to
Yeah.
pick.
that'll be it. So let's make it easy on Becky. I'd entertain a motion to appoint Corey.
I second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Next item up is the redevelopment. I think we've got. And those are a whole group, there's 5, I think.
You have, redevelopment, you have 3 to appoint, and they're 3-year terms. None
I thought they were
over-
just 1-year terms.
I've got 3 on my, I went through the
There's
state
David.
statute.
David Sherry and who else on there?
This is for the redevelopment authority, correct?
No.
REA?
Very kind of
Oh, I was
redevelopment
on the
commission.
authority, sorry,
Okay.
you're doing the
The
commission.
authority council.
Commission is 1 year.
There's 5 appointees on that.
There's
And I
five
think
for the-
we appoint 3 and the council appoints 2.
It said, for some reason, I thought you guys down for 24. There's a non-voting member that has a 2-year term.
That's appointed by the school
School board.
corporation.
So you guys have 3, and they're 1 year for the
Yeah.
commission. I thought you were doing the authority, sorry.
And we have 4 people that are interested, correct? David Agent, Sherry Flynn, John Shear, Kelly Harding.
Let's see.
I didn't get all these letters.
David H. and Sherry Flynn, John Shear, and Kelly Harding. Last year, the council appointed William Dickerson and John Shear, and we appointed Sherry Flynn, Carol Haggerty, and David H.
Okay, so I need to know who all you got letters from, because they all were not submitted to the auditor's office.
See redevelopment.
See, David, Sherry, Kelly, and John, right?
I got Jerry
John was a
David,
council appointee.
John and Kelly.
He has reapplied, I'm sure him and Bill Dickerson both are.
I didn't get anything from Bill Dickerson.
I think he sent it,
Went toward the council.
I think he sent it to the council.
Yeah.
So.
So we still have 3 then?
Yeah, we have put 3 on there,
Okay.
and if we substitute Kelly for Carol Haggerty, and then reappoint Sherry and David, that's who we appointed last year to that.
Do what now?
Last year, we had Sherry, Carol, and David, so if we put Sherry, David, and Kelly in place of Carol, Carol did not reapply.
Okay.
She was good for the board, but she chose not to reapply. And then that would leave John, who the council appointed last year.
Yeah, I got his letter here.
So however you want to do it, I mean, we can, I don't think we've got more people than will actually go on the board.
Well, this has to be individual
Mhm.
Yeah,
nominations.
sure,
I was thinking.
rather than a group. So I'd entertain a motion for somebody.
Make a motion for David Agent.
Okay,
I'll second the motion.
motion and a second for David H. and all those in favor.
Aye.
Okay? Someone
Make
else?
a motion for Sherry Flynn.
We have a motion for Sherry Flynn.
Second.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, and now we need a third one.
And either one, and then they'll have 1 left for council, correct?
They'll have 2 left.
2 left?
Two up there, because one will be
Yeah.
internal, one will be.
Because they got a letter to Bill Dickerson. But you
Oh,
can-
okay, that's, I
Yeah.
don't have
But
Well,
those.
we
next
never-
year, I really would like for us to have a statue. I mean, I really
Oh,
did. I
letters.
sent, I mean, I think I was pretty diligent about forwarding all the letters to you guys, but the letters didn't get forwarded to me. that you guys received.
Yeah, we were
So
getting letters
therefore,
and you weren't.
I
You're
couldn't-
confused, and we're confused.
And I compile the list for you guys, but if I don't have the accurate information, but I feel like I'm sharing the information with you guys, so if they don't send it to me, it might be nice if you send it to me where I can have an accurate list.
Yeah, all of it should be sent.
I make a motion for Kelly Harding.
I'll second that.
Abstain.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 2 for, 1 abstention for Kelly Harding. Okay.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. They should be all sent to one person and then all of them.
Well,
sent.
next year, with us doing the new website, next year, we're gonna have, it's gonna be like through a Google Doc, through the website. So then you go in, you select what board you're applying for.
Mhm.
You have to put all your, I would have done it this year, but we're creating the new website and we're still on the old one. We're actually going live on the new one on Monday. But they will select the board they want to. It will have fields that they have to, like contact information that they have to, and then they attach their letter of interest. And then it'll go directly and compile a spreadsheet for us on it.
Mhm.
So then we won't have this where they're sending emails to
Yeah.
different places. So we'll be more organized with it next year.
Next one up, we have Zoning Appeals Board, and the only one submitting a request is Mandy Jackson.
And you have one for a 4-year, one for a 4-year.
We just only have one applicant. So I'd entertain a motion for Mandy Jackson to fill one of the openings there.
Is there more than one opening?
I think we have 2. I think we had somebody resign, didn't we?
Right now it shows Mandy Jackson, Dwight Archibald, Susan Miller
Let's
from
see.
the commissioner.
Do you have, when's the expiration dates on?
Dwight is end of this year, 2025,
Okay, good.
and Susan Miller, 2027.
Okay, so we just need one.
Yeah.
Good.
There's only 3 on that board, right?
No, there's more than that. I think it's got
One
the
for
council
Right.
appointments.
Okay.
So,
I make a motion for Mandy Jackson.
One second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Mandy's there. Then we also have the Plan Commission. And Mandy applied for that also.
Between the planning, you see, I don't have mine. with me. Was there anything on the plan?
I don't even.
Yeah,
have
it's-
that. Plan Commission, you got 2 4-years.
Lee Hall is ending and Mandy Jackson is ending.
Okay. so-
And I think wasn't Lee appointed internally by the board? I may be mistaken on that, but that seems to be it. Does it say?
I'm looking.
Well,
I don't think it says.
the council has an appointment. Commissioners have an appointment.
I thought I read that somewhere.
Right. It's in,
It's in which one?
I don't know. There's too many papers.
Well, on Lee Hall, it says he was appointed in 2022, which if he's
Yeah.
serving a 4-year term, that expiration date would be
26.
incorrect.
26.
It'd be 2026.
Yeah. She's got it over here.
Unless he fulfilled somebody's,
I think he filled that.
if he took the place of somebody.
I'll have to look into that.
Well, we know we have one opening and one applicant. So
That's for the.
I nominate Mandy Jackson
for the Plan Commission.
for the Planning Commission.
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second for Mandy Jackson to serve on the Plan Commission. All those in favor?
Uh,
Well, wouldn't it be he filled it in mid one because he was appointed in 2022? So he would be filling it.
It all depends whether it
Where
was
it
a
was.
2-year,
If that's a
3-year.
4-year term and
4-year.
26, 2-year term be 24.
Okay.
Next item we have on the list here is the PETA BOA Board, and we have two applicants for that, Mandy Jackson and Heidi Dixon.
Hey, Randy,
Yeah.
back on the planning commission, we
Yeah.
have Randy Cleaving as the commissioner on here. Yeah.
Okay, that's probably an internal one.
Yeah, internal, yep.
Okay,
I nominate Rebecca.
I'll second that. She did it to you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So you're keeping track of these, Pam, to make sure we're not skipping over somebody that.
I'm trying.
I'm with you there. Okay, so the next one is the Property Tax Assessment Board of Appeals. And I was looking for that one, how many people were,
So those are all one-year terms. and
We have
need three.
2 applicants for that. I think, that's all I've got.
I have three. I have Mandy Jackson, Heidi Dixon, and Kelly Hardy.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because it's all on that one, okay.
and we've only got 3 spots.
Correct. And then Mandy is an independent, so that would, we wouldn't have a problem with that.
Okay. All right, let's take those probably separate for Becky's purpose.
I nominate Mandy Jackson.
A second.
All those in favor of Mandy Jackson?
Aye. I nominate Heidi Dixon.
I'll second.
All those in favor of Heidi Dixon to serve?
Aye.
Aye.
And nominate Kelly Harding.
And I'll second Kelly Harding.
Oh, abstain.
All those in favor of Kelly?
Aye.
Aye. 2 plus 1 abstention. Okay, the next thing I've got is the Redevelopment Authority, which I'm thinking is there only one vacancy? And I believe Balaji has served on that. Let's see. They don't have dates on this one.
Yeah, I see what he,
I showed the three because they have all expired.
They've all expired.
Yes, it was Pat Clark, Balaji, and Kelly Connor.
Kelly Connor too, yeah. I was thinking they didn't all expire at the same time, but I may be mistaken. I think Balaji's the only one that applied.
That was the,
yeah, he's the only one I got a letter from. Did
I
you
have
get
Balaji
anything
and
from
Corey Phillips.
Anybody,
Corey Philly applied also.
Chris,
What?
did you get any from, or the
The only one I got was from Balaji.
Balaji? That's the only one I got too.
So we have 3, Kelly Connor's not a carryover.
Just so you know, I need copies of these letters of interest that we did not receive for record, so.
Okay, oh,
I know I have them all. I can just look at them.
I have,
Pam, how did you receive them? Where were they sent?
I dug through all the emails and Randy Cleaving's,
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
quite, interesting mess.
And so they were sent through the commissioners
Yes.
group? Good.
So-
Corey, yes, he's got redevelopment authority on his also.
Corey Philly.
Corey Philly.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's something else, if they want to apply for multiple positions, I think they need to have it individually, not all in one letter, because then you have to go back and,
Yeah.
because some people applied for 4 things on one letter, and that
So
makes it
confusing.
confusing.
But next year will be a lot easier because,
Yeah, because,
like I said, I'm gonna set it up like a Google Doc and.
So we're on the Redevelopment Authority, and we have 3 slots and 2 applicants. So I'd entertain a motion to appoint either Balaji or Corey.
Actually, I lied, I misspoke on that. Corey Philly, I did get his letter. So I
But it
thought-
had four things on it, didn't it?
Yeah, it was all
Yeah,
in
see,
one.
that's where
right.
it that's
Yeah,
where
that's
you
right.
get lost in the mess. So we have how many appointments?
We have 3, but only 2 people applied. I make a motion for Corey Philly.
We have a motion for Corey. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor? Okay.
And I'd like to nominate Elijah.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I second that.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. 2 of them in. Last one I've got here is the CBB. We shrank that board from 11 to 7.
Seven.
So we have 4 appointments, but we need to have 2 2-years and 2 1-year appointments. So we stagger them. So we have some continuity carried through from 1 year to the next. We have 4 people that have applied: Stan Goffner, Barry Stiles, Steve Stemley, and Cindy Taylor.
And how many appointments do we have?
4. But 2 of them need to be 2-year, 2 of them need to be 1 year. So we have a ongoing carryover of people on that board.
I'll nominate Barry Stiles for a 2-year.
I second that.
We have a motion and a second for Barry Stiles for 2 years. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. One other 2-year one.
I make a motion for Steve Stemley for a 1-year term.
Okay. We have a motion. Do we have a second for Steve Stemley, a 1-year term?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. It's 1 year. Now we got 2 more.
I make a motion for Stan Goffinet for a 2-year term.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for Stan Goffin for 2 years. All those in favor?
Aye.
And Cindy Taylor.
She would be the other 2-year. I'll make a motion for Cindy for a 1-year term.
I second that.
2-year.
Huh?
1 year or 2 year?
1 year.
1 year.
We have a motion and a second for Cindy Taylor to serve 1 year. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Now, the ones that we couldn't fill, will they be, or that we had no letters open, that we had no interest in, will they be
Posted as openings.
reposted?
We'll have to repost them on the website.
What do you do, 6 weeks on that, or?
I'll just post it.
We'll see if we get any
See
If
interest.
what
you get
happens?
any interest, I'll just bring interest to you.
Okay.
So do we not have, let's see, I'm going through here.
Oh, here we got the personnel policy handbook. Oh, that's internal.
Yep.
Is that ours?
Yeah, we have to have,
Emergency Management Advisory Council.
yep, that's an internal one too.
Those are 4. These here.
Okay.
They got Steve. She gave it. didn't she?
Don't know where to apply for that one.
Yeah. Then that's internal.
Do you want to do emergency management first?
Advisory Council.
We can, I don't know,
Is that's a 2-year term?
see, we have all these appointments that's listed here on these things. And that apparently they should be expiring. I don't know, this here, what I'm looking at here, it's like there are a lot of commissioner appointments on that whole group.
That are expired.
Yeah, and even if they were expiring in 22 and were reappointed, they've expired again.
In 24.
Yes.
The 2 top ones will be in 24, but if they,
Yeah, these here would be,
but if it was
Expired,
2
but all
years,
the
they'd
rest of
all
them
be
are all-
expired.
I think what we were doing, we were looking at that board to see whether we wanted to revamp that a little bit, and I think that's what happened, and then it just continued on, is what it
You
amounted
wanna
to,
try
because
look at it again?
what we were gonna try to do is get people, because it represents, like here, different townships,
Mhm.
and some of the people no longer resided in that township, or they moved, or they came in or out. And I think that was the thought process, to get county representation of all the different townships. And we never went through and did
Because
anything.
we only have one applicant for that. For filling, I think. Yeah, right?
Correct.
But see, it's like
Which one are we looking at?
Emergency Management Advisory Council, because what we had was the mayors were there. We had somebody from Troy, Clark or Oil, Leopold or Anderson, Union or Tobin.
Steve Howe.
And what we were gonna do is make sure we had representation from each one of these townships if we could get it. I know Steve was on there, the thought process is because he's involved with the county.
Right, he's involved
Has the
with all the
equipment and those
emergencies.
kind of things, that it'd be handy to have the superintendent there in the event that.
It's a garage, it's a
You
good
need it.
idea to have the mayors on there also.
You've also got the internal for planning and, or for the personnel policy.
Yeah,
And then you've also got the internal for the courthouse security.
we'll have security.
Let's take this emergency management and punt that again to see
You wanna look
exactly,
at that? again?
and see how we want to maybe structure this. I don't know where, it's like Dave Brueggemann, he's been on there, and he's listed as Troy Township, and I think he still lives there, so we just need to kind of run through those to see,
Yeah,
make sure we've got representation of the county and what we want to do with that, so we table that one. We don't have anybody applying anyway. Internal for what now, for the personnel policy?
do you need to get a motion to table that?
We don't have any applicants. So we can take a motion and
Yeah, we
what we need to do is revisit that to see exactly.
Letter
Got
of
one.
interest.
Oh, Corey.
Yeah,
Corey, yeah, okay.
but I don't think he can do all that, so
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
Let's revisit that. Because I think that's how we ended up with these that expired in 22, and then
Mhm.
it just continued on without actually going into any details on it. So let's table that. I'd entertain a motion to table the appointments for the Emergency Management Advisory Council.
I second that.
All those in favor? Okay, and then the next is an internal appointment from the commissioners on the Personnel Policy Committee. What that involves is it goes through as things change, and as they keep monkeying around with how much you can make to be a salaried versus non-salaried employee. It's an ongoing phenomena. Anybody interested? It has to be a commissioner.
I'll nominate Randy.
I second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Security, Randy Cleaving served in that position from the commissioners last year. What that basically involves is security regarding the courthouse here, and it's has the police officers, sheriffs and that, and it's kind of a non-public group of people that keep up to speed on keeping the courthouse secure.
I'll do that.
Is that you, Becky?
Yes,
I'll nominate you.
okay.
I second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Anything else we're missing, Chris?
Not that I know of. I'll go through here, and I can say right now at this time, I'll go through and reorganize and look at things, and I'm noticing a lot of things like where the expiration dates look like we started a new spreadsheet because the old one was just confusing as could be.
Well,
So I think a lot.
I, for one, it's just like this has that ARP committee on there.
Mhm.
We've spent the money, it's gone.
Okay.
Get rid of it.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know, some of these others, it's like here, we have an Animal Welfare Control Education Board. I don't think anybody applied for that. Of course, no, there's none that expires, so that's good. But some of these
Yeah.
boards, I'm not sure they still are active,
Okay.
and whether they're required by statute, I don't know. But it turns it into more of a kind of a question. Historian, yeah.
You know, the historian, what,
I don't know.
what,
Date of appointment was back in 2019, so.
We
I
kind of went through the committees and like created the new spreadsheet and looked up the new looked up the IC codes and sent all that out for the ones that we know are
Yeah.
active and are going. So that's why I'll send out this new spreadsheet, and as we find out if there's stuff that we're missing, then we can go through
you
it.
can always add on.
It's like
Yeah.
this one, Indiana Department of Homeland Security,
Yeah.
District 10 Planning Oversight Council.
Mhm.
And then right below that, we have the same
Yeah.
title, District 10 Planning Council. So,
And that expired in 2016.
so
I don't see any reason to have that.
I just got asked about the Local Justice Reinvestment Advisory Council. What's that one? Do you have that?
Yeah, it shows Tom
Tom
Hauser
Hauser?
being the president.
When did that
Term
expire?
ongoing, it just says.
It
Ongoing.
says ongoing.
Yeah. we have a lot of those things that need to be,
And the council will assign the other person.
we just need to sort through all these things. And if they're needed, fine. If they're not, and then try to get the expiration, who actually is serving.
On these older committees that we don't really hear about.
Right,
Yeah.
and it says ongoing, and some of these people don't realize they're been on it for 10
I
years.
didn't understand this either.
She has an appointment on there, I believe, is where that came from.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's,
now see, I didn't know. I never seen that before, and then I get this letter, and I'm,
Well, and one thing I did look at is there is 9 people on the handbook committee.
Yeah.
And I count them up and only come to 8.
Andrew Foster served the attorney, so.
No, I know, I counted him.
So we've got,
Says 9, and we have 3 people listed, 2 council, 1 commissioners, and then the auditor, the sheriff, the highway superintendent, HR administrator, and county attorney.
and then we added the judge in there.
Then it needs to reflect that on this
mhm.
document.
Judge was added in there.
Was you going to get her, that was something else. Was you going to get her the letters that?
Yeah.
Okay, because I started to say I've got
Let's
most
see
of
that
them
one on
here.
my list. Let's see.
Here's the one I'm looking at right there, it's on the judge, so but you can, it only adds to 8. I mean,
So
that's
then the judge would be 9.
That would be nice.
Okay.
So we need to add that to it if that's the case.
Yeah, I don't like that, but 4 on 1. I think Kelly done the same thing. They need to be separate.
Okay, I think we're through this as best we can.
Yep, I'll get it organized and bring it back on the, probably won't have
By the 6th, the
the
next one, right?
17th.
We don't have any applicants, so
Yep, so
we can work through it when we get there, so.
if we get it by the 6th, I'll bring it. If not, then I'll bring it the 17th or 16th.
Is the only letter that you're needing is Brandy Glenn?
No, all the ones that I didn't receive. I mean, so a lot of
Even if we
these,
didn't nominate them?
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'll
Yep.
just- I can make it.
Yeah.
Copy of these.
Okay, with that said, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn. Our next meeting will be January the 6th at 9 a.m., which is a Monday.
I make a motion.
I second that.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 I think